Hello and welcome to my tutorial for the Biased Referee from Blood Bowl. Today I want to use the Contrast Plus method to paint this miniature. To start, I have primed the figure in grey and white, and for this I often use the EXO colors from AK Interactive, which go through the airbrush. I first applied a complete grey base coat and then add a Zenithal highlight with white. Now it's time for the first color, a medium mix with a Reikland Fleshshade, applied evenly across all skin areas. Why dilute it with the medium, you might ask? This helps create a smoother base tone, ensuring an even distribution. To achieve the desired intensity and sharpness, I will go over it twice to darken the shade slightly. For the red clothing beneath the cape, I first use Pastel Peach as the base tone. This pastel orange serves as the foundation for the red Speedpaint, which I apply next. This makes the red more vibrant and intense. You can paint directly over white, of course, but I wanted to test the effect of using a lighter orangey base tone in the same color family, so I can highlight with that later. The second base tone is for the hair. Here I use pastel sand since I want a blonde hair effect. Later I will apply a yellow speed paint over it. To ensure even coverage, I dilute the color slightly with water and apply 2 thin layers. The first speed paint I use is Poppy Red from the Army Painter, which I use to paint the clothing under the cape. I make sure not to touch other areas to avoid unnecessary corrections with white later. For the cape I use anthracite grey as the base color. Later I will apply a black tone to create a slightly blue shimmer. This helps tone down the contrast color a bit, resulting in a more natural look. And with that the cape is complete. For the hair I use a Zealot yellow speed paint from the Army Painter. A strong, slightly brownish yellow. Applied over the pastel base, it creates a beautiful blonde tone, which requires little additional work later. With this Contrast Plus method, it's especially useful to use the base color as a highlight later. If you want to emphasize certain areas, you can simply use the original shade as an accent. The paper appeared grey on the packaging than our usual bone tone base. Therefore I start with warm grey from AK Interactive and paint the entire paper or parchment. Then I mix it lightly with silver white later to create some early highlights. After that, the paper will be washed with grey or black to enhance the depth, but more to this later. Now I move onto the leather areas, starting with the boots and the belt. For the base coat I use Beast Brown from AK Interactive, a warm light brown which provides a solid foundation for later shading. Next I apply a dark brown contrast paint over it, resulting in a natural light brown highlight. Following this step I apply a dark brown wash. You can use Wildwood from Citadel or any other deep brown tone for this effect. To finalize the paper, a highlight is with a lighter warm grey. You can also mix white into the base warm grey to emphasize edges and upward facing surfaces. Thinned paint helps achieve a smooth transition, giving the paper added depth. If the paper looks too dark overall, adding fine white highlights increases the contrast. Now the red card is a very important detail. Naturally the red card held up high is a central element. I first prime it with pastel orange, then layer a strong red tone over it. If necessary, I refine smaller areas afterward. Now that the base coat is fully applied, I can proceed with the highlights. For me, Poppy Red is an intense, striking red, perfect for the red card's vibrancy. To ensure it truly stands out, I carefully layer red as the base. The color leans slightly towards red-orange, but over pastel orange it appears especially bright and vivid. I make sure the center is slightly darker, using more thin liquid paint in that area from the Speedpaint. However, I also have to be careful not to touch the skin, ensuring clean lines. Now comes the wash for the parchment. For this I choose a Speedpaint grey tone, which I heavily diluted with water or medium. This creates an aged, slightly grey shimmer, giving the paper a realistic appearance. When applying the wash, I ensure that no pools form and that shadows appear in natural areas. Some sections may require a second layer if the color looks too faded once dry. Overall, this is just a gentle wash, aging the parchment effectively. The only metal color used here is old gold from AK Interactive, a beautiful gold tone particularly applied to the belt buckle. First, the buckle gets a layer of reddish brown, which is then highlighted again with the same gold tone here. In the center there is a small glowing stone which I prime in white for applying a contrast paint or a speed paint, in this case blue, at a later stage. And here is the brown wash over the gold. You can highlight the buckle later with the same gold color. Painting the skin is a very challenging step. I use both a darker and lighter skin tone. First, I start with a darker shade, applying it to the lighter areas already defined by the contrast paint. Next, I blend the colors or directly use the lighter shade. Initially, this creates a strong transition, but I then apply it across all raised areas, resulting in a natural gradient from light to dark skin tone. There is no perfect technique for this. Just look at reference images of painted models. Observe how light falls on them and which areas are more prominent. This approach should help achieve a convincing result. Here's a comparison with the previously painted dwarf. I wanted to give the elf a slightly lighter skin tone, and I think I managed to achieve that. Overall, I'm very happy with the final result. Now, let's quickly focus on the diamond at the belt buckle, which I primed in white. Some parts of the feather also need touch-ups. As you can see, I have already painted some parts of the robe in black. Unfortunately, I couldn't record this step as the camera turned off. I simply applied the black tone of speed paint over the anthracite, which created a great effect, adding depth to the cloak. Of course, I could highlight it again with anthracite, but it's not really necessary. I'm very happy with the final result. Apologies for the abrupt cut. The camera didn't record the process of painting the white stripes on the robe again. To position the stripes correctly, I studied reference images of finished models to analyze how the stripes should flow. Instead of using pure white, I opted for a slightly off-white tone and applied the stripes. For the final highlights, I work with an even lighter white on raised surfaces. The process is very straightforward. Apply black as the base color, paint the stripes with a solid gray white, highlight higher areas with a lighter white tone. I add the final accents on the chest and the lower parts of the robe, ensuring the white stripes look not only realistic, but also achieve the intended visual impact. With that, the challenge white stripes are done, and they were not as difficult as they seemed. I washed the feather with a blue-grey tone, as it was previously only primed in white. Unfortunately, I couldn't record this step either. Either the camera turned off or I forgot to press start. But it's a very easy and simple step. Now I go over certain areas again with a small amount of white, making the feather appear crisper. I simply follow the existing color transitions and carefully place highlights to create a bright, shimmering look. The process is simple. Apply a blue-gray wash over the white feather, then highlight certain areas with white. To further increase contrast, I go over the feather again with my wash tone. Here I use Cloudburst Blue from Army Painter, heavily diluting it for a smooth, vibrant effect. This gives the feather a rich blue shimmer, making it appear even livelier. I'm really happy with the final result. A stunning feather with a beautiful contrast. As you can see, I'm using a natural hairbrush, which tends to fluff up a little when using contrast paints. However, if you're working with speed paint or contrast colors or something similar, I strongly recommend using synthetic brushes, as they last longer and don't fluff up as much. Natural hairbrushes can wear out more quickly and result in uneven paint application. Lastly, I finally paint the stone in the center, using a strong blue tone and a layer of speed paint. The result looks really great to me. And here is another comparison with my other referee, ensuring both figures match stylistically. I must say I'm very happy with how they turned out. Now they're almost ready for the base. But the skin tone looked a bit pale to me, so I used shades from AK Interactive, applying a very thin layer to the shadows areas of the skin, particularly to the cheeks, nose, lips and eyes, and some on the knee and legs. This gives the skin a more natural, blood-circulated look, adding life and warmth to the color. For the base, you see at the end, I just used some texture paint and static that I dipped in static grass and stippled or painted a white line on the grass, which gives this a nice football field look. And now we are finally done and I'm happy with the result. So, thank you for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I always enjoy responding. And like every YouTuber, I'd love to remind you, click the bell, subscribe to my channel, leave a like and drop a comment. It really makes me happy and helps me bring you more small and big tutorials on YouTube. So, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.